All right, we may be live, so any validation via text or group me or anything else, carrier pigeon would be appreciated. 4:28 remaining in the first period. Edina up to a 5-0 lead after a goal by Sauter there out front. If you just joined us, which you would have because we've had technical difficulties, we've had 5 goals in the first period. As Boylan comes over and takes a shot just wide of the net, Levy pinches in, keeps the puck in. Sauter gathers on the boards. Back to Levy. Levy down deep to Boylan. Boylan gives chase. As they wrestle, Sauter picks the puck up behind the net. She reverses course, goes back to Boylan. Boylan out front tries for the one-timer to Newcomb, who just got interrupted by the defender. And now the puck back to the point. We're going to see a shot from Levy. Levy shot down low, goal. Or saved by the goalie. Sauter with the rebound, also stopped by the goalie. Sauter back to Levy. Levy was going to go D to D to Sweetser. Wise of her to not. Dumps it back in the corner. Newcomb out front. Nobody there for the Hornets. Good poke check by Siegschlag. And now the puck is out. Hornets go for a change. Levy decides to dump that puck deep to try and help facilitate. Siegschlag gives chase along with Nedry and Newcomb. Helfrich puts that puck back down deep. And Mal works hard to get that puck up to Amy Lou. She's going to shoot that puck through traffic. Goalie makes a save. Would have liked to have seen one of our forwards slide in front of the goaltender and block their vision. Instead, they parted the Red Seas and tried to tip the puck, and the goalie was able to make the save. We have 3 minutes even. Trying to think who scored since the stream started late. I know we've got a goal by Chapman. We have a goal by Sweetser. We have a goal by Cohen. We have a goal by Sauter. And I think I'm missing one. Nedry battling in the corner. Picked off by Hopkins. Skates out in front of their net. And I will probably call them Hopkins, even though it's Hopkins, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis. Amy Lou reverses course behind the net, goes to her D partner, Helfrich. She ends up getting taken down, and that puck goes to the point. One times it back into the mess, and looks like Newcomb's able to get that puck out of the zone. Poke checked off Newcomb's stick, but here comes Nedry to the rescue. They're going to regroup at center ice. Amy Lou up to Witherspoon. Newcomb to Nedry, and here comes Nedry with a chance. She cuts out front. She's going to be upended, and we're going to have our first power play of the game with 1:55 remaining in the period. That puck was tipped off a Newcomb stick. Nedry did a good job picking it up with speed, banked it off the boards, and when she tried to cut towards the center, she was upended for a trip. With a 5-0 lead, I'm not sure if we're going to see a power play unit here or if we are going to just see next line up. Either way, it looks like this looks like one of our power play units. We've got Ballard with Boylan and Witherspoon, and Sweetser and Levy at the point. Levy keeps that puck in. Good fake by Levy. Back to Sweetser. Sweetser takes a shot. Great tip by Ballard out front, but that puck just went wide. Boylan picks it up. Back to Levy. Into the corner. We've got Witherspoon to Boylan. Boylan out front. Shots deflected. Goalie makes a save. Still out front. Another shot. And somehow that puck stayed out of the net. Good job by the Hopkins. I guess we're going to call them the Metropolitans because that's the sum of all three parts. 1:25 remaining in the period, 1:34 remaining in the power play. Sweetser dumps it down deep to Boylan. Boylan over to Witherspoon, who circles behind the net. Witherspoon to the point. Good job by Levy, pinching and keeping that puck in, but then stolen by the Metropolitans. And at least we're going to get an offsides. I was a little worried we were going to get a hook on Levy, but we'll take the offsides with 57 seconds left in the period. Sauter wins the draw, back to Helfrich. Helfrich over to Amy Lou. Amy Lou up to Cohen. Cohen is going to come over the blue line, looking for some help. And here comes Cohen behind the net. She leaves it for Sauter. Sauter in the corner, looking for options. She goes back to Amy Lou. Amy Lou, to get that puck off a little bit quicker, was deflected at the point. Cohen picks it up behind the net, over to Sauter. Sauter back to Cohen. Backdoor to Newcomb. Beautiful play. That is got to be one of the plays that was designed in the power play. You divert a little bit of attention by going high-low, and then that back door sneaks open, and that puck was nicely passed across the crease, and Newcomb buried it for a 6-0 lead. That'll erase the power play for Edina. 19.9 seconds left in the period. As has happened in the past, we will all be wondering whether or not we're going to have a running time starting in the second or the third, as we are up 6 goals. Cohen over the blue line. Disrupted by the Park defenseman, and here comes Sauter wheeling around. Tries to shoot that puck at the net. I think she was looking for a deflection, but no one there to deflect, and that puck went harmlessly wide of the goal. So we have a minute in between periods. We'll see what coaches put together in terms of the second period. I think they're probably fairly happy with the first period effort with 6 goals. This Hopkins Park Minneapolis team does not have the best record, but they have been very competitive in most of their games that they have played. The crowd is being entertained with some Backstreet Boys in between periods here, much to the delight of Kevin Newcomb, as the scorekeeper puts 15 minutes back on the clock to start period 2. Goaltenders switch sides. Looks like we are going to start with the Siegschlag, Nedry, and Ballard line. Lines have been a little bit jumbled since Leighton Cragness has been injured. We wish her a very speedy recovery. Expect to have her back fairly soon. Lou behind the net, over to Helfrich. Helfrich banks it off the boards, hits Ballard. Ballard puts that puck up to Siegschlag. Here comes Mal cutting hard to the net. She takes a really difficult angled shot, and that hit the outside of the net. But to her credit, she picks up the rebound and gets it back to Helfrich. Helfrich tries to hit Mal, who is circling. Shot from Helfrich. Nice low, hard shot. Goalie pad save. Lou's going to pinch here to keep it in the zone. Ballard picks it up. Ballard wheels. Still with the puck. She hands it off to Siegschlag. Siegschlag battles in the corner back to Ballard. Ballard with the puck back to Lou. We're going to see a shot. Shot on net. Kick saved by the goaltender. Nice puck movement by Edina. And the Metropolitan's unable to get that puck out, and Edina is going to change. And that puck is out, and Lou gathers over to Levy. Levy looking for an outlet pass here as the forwards are trying to regroup. That puck goes deep, and Witherspoon gives chase. Nice job by Cohen keeping that puck in. She's stood up around the face-off circle, and the Metropolitans take the puck and skate it out. They are free and clear of the zone as Edina gets their skaters out, back to the D. Levy tries to go deep, but that's blocked, and now we're up to center. Back to Edina's blue line. Lou up to Newcomb. Newcomb over the line. Passes that puck to Witherspoon. Good pass by Newcomb. Witherspoon with the shot and a goal. Good job by Newcomb battling down the side of the boards. That pass went to Witherspoon, who did a good job pulling that puck away from the defender, creating some space, and fires it past the goaltender. And we are at 7-0, and I do not believe that we have a running time yet, which is a little bit unfortunate. Sauter picks up the puck as she comes over the line. She goes wide, stops, tries to find somebody to pass to. She hits Ballard, who goes back to Sauter, who shoots and deflected off of a skate. Nice play by Ballard there. Boylan in the corner. Backhands nobody out front, and Metropolitans pick up the puck. And here they come over the red line. Metropolitans go on net, and Weary decides that she's going to cover that puck and get a whistle to the right of the goaltender. 12:33 remaining. That puck right off the faceoff is picked up by Boylan. She's got speed. She's going to try and beat her wide. Nope, she cuts back in. Tries to cut back in a second time, and that defenseman wasn't biting. Sauter with the puck, trying to figure out what to do with it. She goes back to Chapman. Chapman shoots. Nobody in front, though, for any sort of tip or screen, so that goaltender wisely just covers. Looks like we got Siegschlag, Nedry, and Newcomb out. Like I said, lines are a little bit jumbled due to being down a forward. Not a bad thing. Gives some people some experience playing with other skaters. Park rims it around. You'll notice sometimes I call him Park, sometimes Hopkins, sometimes Metropolitans. It's all synonymous. Here comes Mal. Mal's going to dump that puck deep. Gloved down by the defenseman of the Metropolitans. Picked up by the center. Over to the wing. Nice breakout there by Hopkins Park. That puck shot by Hopkins Park just wide as it was deflected. Lou pins her forward up against the boards as people rush in to help. And here comes Siegschlag. Cuts to the middle. Nice pass up to Newcomb. We got a 2-on-2 with Newcomb and Nedry. Newcomb tries to slide it by the D, and that defenseman said, no dice. And Hopkins Park throws it deep, and they're going to get a line change. Here comes Newcomb. Slips by one of the defenders. She's going to get over to the red and wisely dumps that puck with a nice backhand into the corner and changes lines. There goes Witherspoon. Witherspoon gets chased. Cohen picks up the puck. Witherspoon and Cohen battle, but that puck gets back to the defense. And I think that's Helfrich who dumps that puck in. And here comes the Metropolitans. Again, stopped by Lou. Dumped down deep. Witherspoon, nice pass. Witherspoon with a fantastic pass across the Cohen, and that goalie made a great leg save, and that puck's still ping-ponging around in front. Now we're behind the net, and Witherspoon can't quite get it. Out front to Hopkins. Lou's going to pick that puck up. She's going to go back to the corner for Witherspoon. A couple of good battles in the corner. Here comes Cohen. Cohen backhands it nicely to the point. Viv walks, shoots that puck, and that's a goal. So a really nice job by Viv to walk to the center of the ice, get the nice clear view of the net shot. I couldn't tell if it was tipped, but I don't believe it was. In fact, I can't even tell you. Now I'm confused if that was Lou or... I couldn't tell if that was Helfrich or Lou or both or neither, but it was one of those two with that shot. We have an 8-0 game with 9:40 left in the second period. We're not even halfway through this game. Nice pass by the Metropolitans. They shoot. Hazel Weary with a good save. That was a really grade A scoring chances, both on the shot and the rebound, and Hazel stood up tall. Here comes Sauter going around deep. She's trying to slide it over to Newcomb, and that goaltender made a great save. Good pass, good shot, good save. Great play all the way around. Chapman with the puck. Chapman circles, gives it to Levy. Levy tries to go to the center, and it's picked off, but unfortunately for the Metropolitans, they had somebody in the zone, and that's going to be a offsides call with 8:52 remaining. This second period is brought to you by Pirates Booty Bingo. Take a chance on Pirates Booty Bingo. Levy steps up with the puck, and that is picked off by Hopkins Park. Thrown out of the zone, and I thought that might be offsides, but anyway, Edina comes out with the puck. Now Hopkins Park has the puck. Here comes Nedry. She's put in the boards, but gets a stick on it, and a really good recovery. Here comes Nedry. Nedry tries to shoot that puck. It's deflected by the defenseman, and now Park has it. Little ping-pong hockey at the moment. Dinah, all five skaters down low, trying to break this puck out. Newcomb to Siegschlag. They caught Hopkins Park changing. Good back check by Hopkins Park, and here comes Levy. Levy tries to get down deep, and she does. She pins her player up against the boards. Newcomb tries to come in for the rescue. Picked up by Cohen. Witherspoon calling for it as she's covering at D. Nice pass from Cohen to Witherspoon. Witherspoon one times it, but it gets blocked. Cohen back to Lou. Lou back to Cohen. You can see Hopkins is getting tired. They're sort of, nice one-timer pass. Hopkins is getting tired. They're starting to sag towards their goal, which is giving us a lot of room on the perimeter to work. Sweetser with the puck. Sweetser decides to go the other way, off the boards to Newcomb, but that took a funny carom, and Hopkins picks up the puck. 1-on-3 as they come over the zone. 11 actually made a nice play there against three defensemen, was able to cut across and get a shot, but Weary saves it. Here comes Lou over the blue line. Over to Cohen. Newcomb goes for a change. And on comes Ballard as Cohen still works behind the net. Cohen to Witherspoon. I don't know if she was trying to bank it off the goaltender or forgot to deflect it. Either way, this puck now is racing down towards icing. Weary picks it off to avoid the call, which you're prone to do in a 8-0 game. And now we have an offsides call. 6:24, and we are now officially in running time. No, we're not. They just stopped the clock a few seconds late. So we're still in stop time. 6:22 remaining in the second period. 8-0 Edina. Sauter, Ballard, and Boylan. Sauter wins that draw back to Chapman. Just out of her reach. Here comes Ballard. Ballard crosses the line. Sticks it through the defender's feet. Chapman picks it up. Shoots that puck. Chapman again. Chapman to Ballard. And now we're going to have Helfrich going to regroup behind her own net. Come out with some speed. She puts that puck up to Boylan. We have a 2-on-1. Sauter and Ballard. Sauter and Ballard. And Ballard went off sides, but that was more of an Ella Sauter, I think, cut to the left and drew Ballard off sides. To me, that's a bit of a 50-50. As a puck carrier, you don't want to go lateral at the blue line. And on a clear 2-on-1, when you're the non-puck carrier, you want to give it a little extra room. But nonetheless, that was a good chance spoiled. Chapman keeps the puck in nicely. Just a lot of ping-ponging of the puck as Hopkins Park tries to get out of the zone. Content with just throwing it at our defenseman, and Helfrich picks that puck up, and she's got Siegschlag, who gets, well, stood up, but the other player fell down. And now we have Levy. Levy coming around the edge. So about a 1-on-5 as the rest of Edina changes, and Levy doing a good job of buying time so her teammates can get on the ice. Ballard goes in heavy onto the wall. Good job taking the body there. Yeah, I think that's Cohen who joined in. I can't see from here. Yep, that's Cohen who joined in. Hopkins rings it around. Witherspoon, good hustle to cut her off. They're going to try the other outlet, but here comes Cohen. Good forechecking by this line. Prevent them from getting out. And the puck is finally out, and we're going to have a foot race here, but it is 1-on-3. 24 for Hopkins, tries to slide it. Ooh! She gave that was a definite penalty on Levy. That player who had about 40 pounds on her gave her, the first one was okay, but then she gave her a second shot. Very surprised the refs didn't call that one. I don't think that's going to help the Metropolitans. It's probably going to aggravate Edina to put a couple more pucks in the net. Puck is centered. Lou picks it up. She goes wide over to Newcomb. And here comes Boylan, 1-on-1. I think she's going to beat her wide, and she did. Boylan all alone shoots that puck and just fires it upper left corner to make it 9-0. Good speed by Boylan. When she wants to put her head down and go, she really can do that. So with 3:10 remaining in the second, we've got a 9-0 game. Sauter wins the draw back to Helfrich over to Lou, and that puck is picked off, but Sauter grabs it. Sauter's going to skate out of the zone. And she is going to try and go wide, but that puck is picked off by that defender. And I think we're going to get a really ticky-tack penalty here. Number 9, Sauter. That may be a little bit of a frustration penalty for getting that puck stripped. So we're going to be shorthanded. Up 9-0. I don't imagine the Edina Hornets are going to get too many more power plays. So we've got Siegschlag and Nedry on the forward. And Lou and Helfrich. Hopkins wins the draw. Nice pick by Nedry, and we are going to have a foot race here. This is going to be a close one. She has Siegschlag if she sees her. And I think she was just being harassed too much. Not sure if she had an option to shoot or pass, but she stayed with it well. And no harm, no foul. Siegschlag dumps it deep. Nedry gives chase again. Hopkins Park goes up the ice here, trying to zone entry. They decided to shoot the puck, which I'm not sure is a wide decision when you're on the power play to shoot from the blue line, because you end up giving possession away. But they somehow managed to keep possession here, and they try and go back to the point. Siegschlag with a poke check. They still keep it in, but here comes Viv. And Viv should have enough speed to get by her here. And she's going to... Wow! She just loses that puck. Couldn't get it onto her backhand. She ended up ultimately getting it to her backhand, and the goalie made the save. But by that time, she was just a bit too close into the goaltender. Here comes Amy Lou. She does the right thing there and dumps it deep. 30 seconds left in the man advantage or the player advantage for Hopkins Park. This is going to pop out to Cohen. Cohen decides to leave the zone, which I know the coaches say when you got the puck, take the dog for a walk. No rush to get rid of the puck. Kill time on the shorthanded. Take the dog for a walk, and that's exactly what Edina's doing right here. Levy up to Cohen. And we are back to 5-on-5. Cohen slides across and thought she was going to continue to come out of the zone. Nice job by Cohen there. Really great job holding possession. Here comes Boylan up close. Little deke, little pass. Tried to get it over to Witherspoon. That was a nifty little backhand pass. Good to see the girls aren't being selfish. Up 9-0, which can happen quite frequently. Girls get a big lead, and they try and add to their stats. But that was good to see Boylan try and dish that one off to Witherspoon. Looks like we've got Ballard at center, centering Newcomb and Boylan. Levy and Chapman at the points. And we are going to do it all again as we have a bit of a offsides. I'm noticing the home scorekeeper in a 9-0 game is quick to start the clock and very, very slow to stop it. They're gaining a couple seconds on every whistle, but that's all right. We're going to be at running time very, very soon, and the whistle blows for the end of the second period. Edina with a 9-0 lead. Too many goals to recap, but Edina's playing well. Complete domination. So we will let you listen to a little music. Hopefully you can hear it, and I'll be back in a minute. Well, it looks like the coaches have decided to forego the Zamboni, which is customary after the second period of these games. Once in a while, you will see this in a lopsided game, which I think everyone is probably pretty happy about. Took a little bit of an extended break just to give the girls a breather, but we are back um, with 15 minutes on the clock, a 9-0 lead, and I'm guessing we will certainly be in running time. So this game will be over in 14 minutes and 55 seconds. Good D to D by Chapman and Levy. Levy turns around, back to Chapman. Chapman off the boards. Good job by Nedry picking that up with speed. And she cuts to the middle, and Boylan just stays on side. Nedry cut across that crease with speed, and really good job keeping that puck in control, but she just couldn't get that backhander off. Chapman, good pinch there. She comes off the corner, tries to shoot. That's blocked by defenseman, and now Siegeslog's going to pick that puck up. She backhands that puck. Didn't get much on it, so that was picked off, and out comes the Metropolitans. They cross the blue line. Poke check by Levy. And Levy's got it again. It's one of these games where the opposing team gets the puck once in a while, but they don't have it for more than a couple seconds as Levy crosses the blue line. Levy loses an edge and goes into the boards, and Hopkins Park tries to get out, but puts it in the skate of an Edina player, and now we've got Newcomb back to Sweetser. Sweetser to Levy. Levy surveying the ice as she's got forwards. That should be an icing, as our three forwards were sort of all in line trying to regroup, and there was no spacing for Levy to pass that puck to. I think she said the heck with it and decided to fire it off because she needed to get off, and we've got an icing. As those forwards are regrouping, like to see a good mix of depth and speed so that there's some options, but they look like synchronized skaters there. Hopkins Park back to the point. We're going to see a quick shot. That shot is blocked out front, just goes through the crease, and Amy Liu ties up that defender. Hopkins Park shot blocked by Cohen, and Hopkins Park, I thought, put that puck out, but they did not call offsides. Now Witherspoon battles for it. She gets taken off the puck, but keeps it with her skate. And Cohen decides to back it up to Liu. Liu back to Cohen. Cohen one times it up to Witherspoon. Witherspoon just tries to hit Newcomb, who is streaking. Great idea, just failed to click. That's the type of puck movement we're looking for. One-touch passing and moving that puck to space. Liu behind the net. We've got line changes happening for Hopkins. And Liu gains the red line and now is able to safely dump that puck deep as Sauter gives chase in the far corner. Hopkins wins the race to that puck, rims it around, and now we're struggling to get forwards over there to forecheck. We end up getting Ballard with that puck, and then that puck comes out. Sauter calling for the puck. I don't think Helfrich saw her. And Sauter picks it up anyway, and she's going to pass that puck to Boylan. Nice one-timer. Good pass by Sauter. Good shot by Boylan. Good save by the goaltender. Good play all around. And Hopkins Park over the red line. Poke check by Boylan. Now we need some regroup. This is where I want to see the forwards. Off the boards to Ballard. Ballard's going to try and find Sauter, but it comes off the heel of her stick. And Hopkins throws it down deep. Here comes Helfrich. Let's get some forwards with speed. Everyone's content with changing, and Helfrich is going to take the puck down by herself. She's going to try and shoot fans on that puck. She gets taken into the boards. Well, the good news is Viv had her head up trying to pick a spot. The bad news is sometimes your stick falls off the puck. But like that, she was looking to shoot at a target. Here comes Cohen. Cohen off the goalie's, I don't know, upper blocker, glove, and face all together at one. Chapman, good job keeping that puck in, and we have Nedry with the puck. Played back to Chapman. Chapman backhands it in. Cohen working hard. Nice nifty move by 71 from Hopkins Park. She's got some moves there. And Cohen with the poke check. Now that puck is out. Nedry pestering the opponent. Good job at the neutral zone forecheck there. Puck's going to go deep into the zone. Nice job by Chapman. Good physical play there. I tell you, the Metropolitans, they're not giving up down 9. Love to see it. Here comes Witherspoon. We got a 3-on-2. That passes over to Levy. Saved by the goaltender. Really nice job by both Witherspoon and Nedry crashing the net. That is something we don't see enough of this year. Both forwards did a great job crashing the net there. Lou and Boylan unclear on who's going to take that puck. Lou ends up dumping it deep into the zone. 9:19 remaining in the game. Quite a physical battle down in front of me here as Lou and Witherspoon are battling hard against 2 Hopkins players. No icing. Oh, Karendorf sweeps her stick kind of funny, and she's going to end up with it anyway, and here comes Claire Sweetser over the line. She tries to get by the defender. No call there, which I wouldn't expect for a couple reasons. Sauter back to Viv. Viv's trying to get over that red line. She goes deep with it. The ref had to duck. That was a headshot there. Now we have Cohen back to Helfrich. Helfrich tries to shoot that puck, but nobody there for Edina. Comes Cohen, trying to find some space. She dumps it back to Ballard. Ballard rings around. I think she's going to try and shoot it. Instead, she dumps it to the corner where Sauter picks it up. Sauter, nice pass over to Helfrich. Helfrich is going to shoot. She does. Good save by the goaltender. And that puck's going to go back to Ballard. Ballard to Sauter. Ooh, just poke check at the last second. And once again, we're playing ping pong down here. Hopkins is saying enough of this. That puck's on net. Weary saves that puck. Hits Sauter at the blue line. Nice job by Weary. Here comes Sauter. She's crossing over into 1-on-4. I think she's going to try and get the scoring range. She shoots and just deflected wide. Good job by Sauter there. Thought she might have a good scoring chance, but looks like that puck got deflected wide of the net as Helfrich comes over. That puck is shot well over the top of the cage. Assuming, yep, there goes Helfrich. She had a very active shift. She's got to change, and we got Levy coming on for her as the goaltender covers up in front. 7:05 running time left in the third period. We are at the St. Louis Park Rec Center, the home of the St. Louis Park, as well as the Benilde high school hockey programs. As you can see, Red Knights listed over one bench and Orioles over the other. Boylan in her feet. Nice shot by Boylan. Good save by the goalie. Goalie's made some good saves here. Sometimes it's overlooked in a 9-0 game, but the goalie had a couple of rough moments, but she's also made some really good saves. Witherspoon on the draw. Witherspoon to Cohen. Cohen to Levy. Levy rims it around, and that's grabbed by Hopkins. They try and go out the center. And Witherspoon is there, but she's got to pull it out. So now Cohen and Newcomb have to get out. That passes off a skate, and Hopkins tries to get it in the zone, but that's blocked by Newcomb. And here comes Cohen. Cohen a 1-on-3. She's got Witherspoon there and Newcomb in the high slot, but she's hounded. Can't get a pass off. Nice job by Witherspoon trying to one-touch that pass to Newcomb. We've got lots of players in the zone. Levy lost her patience there. frustrated, just fired that sucker on net. But we had a couple of players still deep in the zone. That's what you call the offsides that would be of the intentional variety, and it's brought all the way down to the Edina end. Sauter wins that draw. Sweetser rims it to Lou. And that puck is back in front. Sweetser cuts it off. Another rim around the board. Sometimes hard for these forwards to carry it. Here comes Sauter. Sauter trying to gain speed, and I'm guessing she's going to try and find Ballard. Back to the point. Sweetser shoots. Blocked out front. And here comes Amy Lou. Lou grabs it to Sauter. Makes a nice job trapping that puck. Gets it up to Boylan. Sauter's going to get off the ice. And Sweetser's going to hold that puck in. Siegschlag comes on to relieve Sauter. Over to Boylan. And Hopkins Park takes that puck up. Amy Lou's going to gather. Good to hear the girls talking to one another still. Hopkins Park, a little bit of a whiff there on D, and that allows Mal the time to get to that puck. She tries to scoot it down low for Nedry. And we've got Mal. Mal behind the net, tries to get it out. She gets it to Cohen. Cohen tries to circle out in front. And it's going to be Lou picking it off at the point. Goes back down to Cohen, trying to find somebody in front. Had Nedry floating for a brief minute, but missed the window. Back to the point. Back to the other point. Lou's going to shoot that puck. And that sails wide. Cohen goes in hard. Loses her edge, but maintains puck. Now we got Nedry. Nedry's going to try and come out. Good pass to Lou. Let's fire that puck. Good puck movement back to the point. Lou with a nice shot. Goalie covers up in the midsection. 3:09 and running. Remaining in the third period. 3 minutes left. You'll probably get to see each player one more time. Perhaps not the line that just came off, but Witherspoon on the draw with Newcomb and Boylan. Wins that draw over to Newcomb. Newcomb back to Chapman. Chapman, nice one-time snapshot. Hits the outside of the post. She got some good wood on that one. And here comes... Now the Hopkins Park player didn't want any part of that puck. Helfrich picks it up. Helfrich backhands it to Chapman. Chapman back to Helfrich. And we are working down low. Helfrich, that pass is picked off, but picked off again. And here comes Witherspoon. Tries to get that puck over to Boylan, but it's deflected. We're getting a little bit sloppy here on this shift. And that puck is centered. Can't believe they didn't call a penalty on that. Well, I can with 1:50 left, but that was clearly a tripping call. This is not when you want to give up a goal, as Hazel's done a nice job when she's been asked to have the shutout. But this line doesn't seem very interested at the moment to getting the puck out of the zone. And now we're going to get it out as Nora they're going to switch here. Full sail switch. Oh, we're going to get offsides. Sauter, nice job knowing that Ballard had fallen down in the zone, and she goes back to her D. Helfrich. Levy. Got to find a forward that's looking. Tries to hit Cohen, but it goes a little too far, but not far enough to be icing. Ballard tries to hit Sauter, who turned her back and didn't see it, and that is kicked out, and we're under a minute to play as Hopkins still going full speed. Good job by Levy escaping to her weak side there. That puck is up, and we got a 3-on-1. Cohen, she's going to go in for... And now we got Sauter, and Sauter just ends up with that puck on her stick somehow as Cohen worked, lost the puck, ended up on Sauter. She said, hey, no one's standing around me, and she just took one little move and backhanded it under the goalie. Not the prettiest of goals, but we'll take it. And that makes it an even 10. No rush to drop the puck. So safe to say, I think we're going to end up with a 10-0 game here. As Nedry back to Sweetser, back to Levy. 5 seconds remaining. Let's just hope nobody wants to get physical. And that'll do it. So another conference win in the books as we finish the 10-0 game against the Hopkins Park, Minneapolis Metropolitans. That's it. Signing off.